Hello, everyone. Welcome back to round one of the Creator Clash Bingo. Today we have the Gaslighters, Blue Jay and Hollow versus the Yin-Yang, Skuichu and Lucky. I am your host, Shrub, joined by my co-host.
Hello, I'm Sky.
And to start, we're going to spin the wheel of Slugcats to see which Slugcat each team is going to play or maybe veto in this match.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping for Gourmand.
I mean, I'm definitely hoping for a Gourmand as well. We haven't seen too much of them in the other bingo competition either, but
I would like
very
not
interesting.
a main three. Okay, maybe not Spearmaster either, but all right. Looks like
Not
first pick is Spearmaster. So each team will have the opportunity to veto one Slugcat, and if both teams decide to veto the same Slugcat, then that Slugcat, neither team loses their veto. So we'll have to see if each team is happy to play Spearmaster or if one or the other wants to veto it.
Absolutely.
But I think in general, Spearmaster is a rough cat to play.
Spearmaster is difficult. I think that their bingo matches are really interesting.
It looks like the teams have not vetoed Spearmaster, so we are going to stick with Spearmaster.
Going to be getting the Slugcat.
These are usually long games, and there's usually a lot of dying.
Spearmaster's world is pretty brutal.
Yeah, and not having an item slot as well in your stomach is tough. We can see our teams now on the Gaslighters. We have all. Spearmaster is kind of rough. Okay, and here we go. We can see the teams now.
Okay.
On the right, we have the Gaslighters, Blue Jay and Hollow, and on the left, we have the Yin-Yang, Skuichu and Lucky. You might know Blue Jay from their Ambience and other Rain World videos, and Hollow from his various Rain World videos. Sky, if you want to introduce the Yin-Yang.
Yeah, and on the Yin-Yang, we have Lucky, who's done the modded Scug Thursdays and showcased a lot of modded Slugcats, and Skuachu, who's known for playing 16 Spearmasters at once, which...
That's a banger.
Well, I mean, that would clearly give him a lot of experience with...
That's
with
true, yeah. Well, let's just hope we spawn in with 16 Spearmasters at once, then Skuachu will have the advantage.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that... I wonder...
So, for those unfamiliar with bingo, it's a 5x5 board. There's 2 versus 2 teams. It's lockout bingo, so each team, if one team gets a square, the other team can't get the square. The first team to 5 squares in a row or a majority will win the match. There's other complicated tiebreaker rules, but there's a lot of them, so we're not going to go over them unless it comes to that.
Yeah, don't need to go over them quite yet. It takes a lot of strategizing to go with your team, doesn't it? I mean, we've both been playing in the other bingo tournament, so
yeah, it can take sometimes there can be a lack of coordination, and games can go for quite a while.
It takes a lot of coordination and a lot of communication too. Routing is really important.
At the start, we are going to cull the board a little bit just to make sure that the goals are reasonable. It is randomly generated, but some of them can be a little bit unreasonable.
Some can be a little bit extreme, or just not account for the world. I've actually had Saint Bingos come up with needing to tame a green lizard, of which there's only one in the entire world, and it's a lineage. Absolutely awful.
That sounds like fun.
Don't want to deal with that kind of thing.
Most Slugcats have an exclusive sort of goal for them. I can't remember what Spearmasters is. I know they have the do not trade spears to Scavenger's goal, which I don't see on the board right now.
Needles specifically. They can trade regular spears, but not their generated needles.
Yeah. But I don't think they have a specific goal otherwise. They do also have the... Oh, God. There's another goal that I was thinking of. But the board is going to be called for quite a bit here, but we can kind of tentatively talk about some of the squares we see here. The first one that pops
Yeah.
to my sight is the trade 2 items between scavenger merchants in the
Oh yeah.
4th row, last column there. As
That's always a tricky
Spearmaster,
one.
not having the mouth slot is really rough, and the best merchants to trade between are usually garbage and shaded, and as we know,
Garbage waste
Spearmaster
is
garbage
not
waste, not the best place to be.
Having taken that trip with 2 items, it's not fun. It's
Yeah.
not fun at all.
And getting a spear from a scavenger merchant as the blessed item is also really rough because you have to traverse through the garbage worm territory, and they'll often steal that from you. So you really want to get 2 items that you can hold, like a bomb or a lantern.
Yeah, generally
interesting
coming from the shaded side works a lot better since they don't generally give you spears. But the garbage waste merchant really loves giving you spears that get stolen pretty much immediately.
Yeah, he knows it's a scam.
I'm surprised that
He's
he
running a
actually
business.
manages to keep the spears there, given they get stolen everywhere in every direction.
There's also, it looks like we will, unless that square gets replaced, we will see garbage waste in this bingo in some capacity at the top right. You can see enter garbage waste as a goal there, as well as the garbage waste vistas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the garbage waste vistas are pretty miserable as Spearmaster. We'll have to see if either team can pull out the movement.
Okay, so popcorn plants are going to be 5, it looks like.
6.
6. A lot more
so
reasonable.
That's still can't be done in industrial. That's always my thing is we've got to make sure that the popcorn can't all be done in industrial, which has 4 for Spearmaster as world state.
Yeah.
So you've at least got to go into Chimney Canopy or Sky Islands as well to help finish that off, or some other regions around. Just depends on your route.
Islands. Garbage wastes. Garbage waste has a surprising amount of popcorn plants.
That too, unfortunately, it does look like people will have to go to garbage waste, so that might be the routing.
That'd be a very interesting route to take. There are a lot of cyan lizards around industrial and around garbage as well. Industrial is always such a good place to go, just as a centralized location in general.
It's a great hub. You can get from you can get to all the corners of the map pretty quickly from
garbage waste is useful. Shaded is typically useful. Pipe yard is surprisingly useful in bingos, a lot more than people give it credit for.
Another interesting world state thing to note here is that 3rd row, last column, is to hatch 3 noodlefly eggs. As Spearmaster, there are 3 of them in outskirts alone.
Yep.
So we might not see people venture too far into Sky Islands or farm rays if they don't have to.
That's true.
But it is kind of a weird piece of trivia to know that they exist in outskirts.
Yep. There is also the one in industrial. So even if there's 4, that's not a huge walk to go from industrial to outskirts, even though they're a little bit far apart within those regions.
Yeah, and each team or each player has a passage which will advance the game by 5 cycles. So if someone wants to do something really silly, they could, over the course of the game, open the noodlefly egg passage at some point, come back, open it again, then open it again. I think it's 4 to 9 cycles it'll respawn. That'd be really funny to see. Someone works on that in the background.
That would be really funny if somebody used a passage specifically just to respawn a popcorn plant or noodlefly egg. Oh, goodness.
It's a couple of Safari unlocks, too.
That is a lot of Safari unlocks.
Usually,
farm rays and drainage.
We don't usually see, any unlocks are pretty, they're not totally uncommon, but they're all lumped together in the same goal. So getting a Safari unlock or an Arena unlock or any given item unlock, it's pretty rare. And so getting at least 2 Safari unlocks is pretty uncommon. I need to check the map real quick because I'm not familiar with where the Farm Rays Arena unlock is.
The Farm Rays Arena unlock is west of the Deer Pearl. It's up on the ledge. If you come in from the water room.
The secret entrance in that water room.
Too bad to get to at the very least.
Yeah, that's
as long as you can pass the wormgrass terraces.
Yeah, and the Drainage Safari, I would be surprised if it's not.
The Drainage Safari is really close to outskirts. It's right
the Drainage
next to
Safari is quite easy to get. It's in that silly room that I always pass by when I'm headed further into drainage system.
The one room that people visited They visited it once and then never again because it's otherwise completely useless.
Yeah, it is a dead end. I always wondered why it existed.
Nothing even
Because it's even there in
spawns
the
there.
base game.
Nothing even spawns there. There are no creatures that appear there. They're bat flies, I suppose, but
Oh, that's
still,
yeah, it's an interesting room.
not much.
There's also stun 3 or hit 3 or salamanders. I always want to call them axolotls. Stun 3 salamanders with jellyfish. So we might see some waterfront facility action.
True. Oh god, waterfront facility. I first thought of shoreline. That would be a lot more reasonable than in waterfront facility.
Yeah, if you go to waterfront from Shaded though, there's a pretty neat little terrace where you can get some jellyfish pretty quickly and zap a couple of close by salamanders. I think that's probably my favorite goal in Bingo.
They're not stupendously common though. They're really annoying to get a bunch of jellyfish.
Yeah, but you can just reuse the same one, so thankfully it shouldn't be too awful. But I think I really enjoy seeing the zap creatures of the jellyfish goal. I think love that. I enjoy completing it in my own bingos. It's pretty satisfying and it usually gets tracked really well.
It is incredibly satisfying. I'm also seeing the fun one of pinning 2 squidcadas to walls.
In different regions too.
Different regions. That's always interesting. I find it interesting that when you pick any region, it's always in different regions, which makes things a lot more spicy, especially if you have creatures that only spawn in a couple of regions. That can force people to go all around the world. Yeah,
for Spearmaster, you're pretty, I mean, at least in the center of the map, you're pretty removed. And there's one in Outskirts, and then there's the 3 dancing ones at the start of Farm Race from Outskirts. Or maybe Pipe Yard, if you want to try your luck, or Sky Islands. In any case, it's a little bit spread out to get to any two of the locations.
The west end of the map.
And the one in Outskirts is a finicky guy. He will oftentimes.
There are also plenty of them. Sorry.
In Garbage? Oh yeah.
Yeah, there are.
And Waterfront too. I forgot. Yeah, there's a couple in Waterfront if I recall correctly.
There are a couple in Waterfront, near one of the arena unlocks, actually.
That's an interesting world state.
It is.
The Outskirts one is a pain. I hope no one has to go for that, because that guy will often spawn in and immediately get scared by a blue lizard or any lizard spawn around there, and then fly up into the ceiling and never come back. Yeah, same with the Pipe Yard ones. So hopefully we'll see Garbage and Waterfront. That'd be great. Or we won't see the goal at all. We'll have to see.
I find it interesting that there was also the goal of storing several pearls in Chimney Canopy and also in Shaded Citadel. I haven't seen any bingo boards with storing pearls in different regions before. That could be actually pretty interesting.
I don't think I've seen that at a match either. It's tough as Spearmaster, just because you don't have that stomach slot. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see then. I was gonna ask. I was just about to say. I wonder what pearl that is. Looks like it was the exterior pearl, but it's being remade or just checked. We'll have to see where that goes.
Like it's being always funny when the amount is large at the same time. You need to collect 4 of the exterior pearls.
Exactly, 4 of the same pearl.
Yes, of course. Is there an item duplication glitch in the game at all? I feel like there isn't, but that's something that appears in so many games.
Yeah, for the Hunter Neuron, there is one. There's a funny bug where you can like take it out of Pebble's hands while he's talking to you as Hunter, and you can stick it in your stomach and then leave the room, and the whole game explodes. I don't recall the full exploit, but it's very specific. It's not a general purpose like, here, put this in this gate and then turn around 4 times and throw a beehive and it'll duplicate. So no, it would be really funny to see that in a match though.
Unfortunately, there are not any squares of getting exploded by 5 pebbles or hitting him with a rock, though it would be very funny to have a goal of hitting 5 pebbles with a rock.
Yeah,
if I recall correctly, he doesn't kill you in Bingo or in Expedition, for that matter.
That is interesting. I don't think I've had the courage to test his patience, so I don't think I've ever been in a situation like that.
And then hit him with a rock, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kill 5 pebbles. Yeah, that's a grand idea.
Kill 5
There's
pebbles.
also the
Bring
flashbang
bomb.
unlock,
Yeah, the
which
flashbang
means
unlock.
we'll
I'm
see
looking at
some
that
memory crypts, which would be interesting as well. That's
now. Yeah,
pretty out of the way.
that's in memory crypts. Oh gosh.
It looks like there's a really high density of goals in that shaded garbage and waterfront area, which is I kind of like to see that for Spearmaster. They're rough areas to be in, but
They
it's pretty cool
do
to see goals
give
around there.
Spearmaster a lot more of a unique vibe.
Yeah,
As long as you don't have to go climb all the way up to Moon and deliver something to her.
yeah, and so
but
long as you don't have to move too far through garbage.
that's.
I
Oh
hope we get to
gosh,
see
yeah.
some of that connection between garbage and shaded. I really like seeing that in the bingos. I think it was a great addition to Downpour.
It is a great addition, and it does make the trading goal between two scavengers a lot more interesting too, just because you can go through that connection.
Yeah.
It's a lot more of a pain to go all the way through Shoreline or through Industrial.
I'm noticing the pin White Squid Catus goal got switched out for bombing. I believe that's the garbage waste underground toll, C05.
05, that's the above ground one.
That's the above ground one. Oh, sorry, my mistake. There was it was the stealing pearl that got replaced or got put in for the Squid Cata pinning goal.
One pearl?
It's
From
just
a
one
toll?
pearl. That wouldn't be
That's
too bad.
fairly easy to do.
Because you have to cross that same garbage waste toll that you're bombing. So at that point, usually the scavs are all dead anyway, so you can just go up
There
and take
is
one.
that. Well, unless more of them crawl out of the hole that they live in. The infinite holes that they're in. Though I don't think there are any scav holes underneath that toll. Actually, I believe they're all to the east of it. So you could probably
Yeah.
just bomb the toll, cross it, and walk right back. Or if you're coming from the right side, you could just bomb it and walk to the left after
Yeah.
everyone's dead.
We'll have to see what happens in the match.
No, we
There's
also
also, noticing transport a vulture grub through 3 gates. That's rough for
That is very rough.
Spearmaster.
transporting anything as Spearmaster is rough.
Especially like
But-
that's one of the goals that as a normal character you can kind of just stick it in your stomach, forget about it for a while. But Spearmaster, you don't have that luxury.
Yep, you do not have that luxury at all. I'm also noticing just befriending a Squid Cata is always a fun experience.
Yeah.
Tossing bat flies at it is only semi-consistent. You could always save it from a vulture or a lizard, but that's not exactly consistent either.
Yeah. They so often take 2 food to tame, and then you'll tame them. You'll give them 1 food. They'll go back to their den, come back out, and then they're like, "No, I'm full for this cycle. You're gonna have to remember which one I am next cycle."
Or they just
and then
fly away.
feed me again, or then they just fly away. Yeah, they're finicky. I was going to mention that with the juxtaposition of that and having to pin the 2 Squid Catas, but that
That
goal
would
got
be very
switched
good.
out.
Now you just have to carry a bunch of Squid Catas everywhere and make friends.
Yeah.
You have to bring a white and a black Squid Cata out of 2 different regions.
All right, it looks like the board has been finalized, so let's quickly go over all of the goals. We'll go by rows. So I'll start with the first row. From the top left, we have opening 6 popcorn plants, transporting a white Squid Cata out of Sky Islands, visiting the Farmer's Echo, visiting the Chimney Canopy Echo, and then entering garbage waste.
All right. And for the second row, we have bombing and passing the above ground garbage waste toll. We have, let's see, I believe that's killing 2 yellow lizards.
Mm-hmm.
Then befriending a white Squid Cata, getting the Vista Point in Industrial Complex, and getting the Flashbang goal that's all the way at the very eastern end of Memory Crypt.
It's important to note that Vista Point goal is just the Expedition Vistas, and some additions, perhaps later on. So if you're familiar with Expedition, you'll know where those are. In the third row, we have stealing 1 pearl from a scavenger toll, 176 points overall. Then we have storing 3 colored pearls in Chimney Canopy in the same shelter. Then we have transport a black Squid Cata out of outskirts, and then hatching 3 noodle flags.
All right. Then for the fourth row, we have to get the drainage system safari in that one otherwise completely useless room. We have to befriend a cyan lizard, zap a salamander or axolotl with a jellyfish 3 times. Though it can be the same jellyfish, it can't be the same axolotl, I believe.
It can be different axolotls, I believe.
Doesn't it have to be?
It can be the same one or it can be different ones, I believe.
Okay. It can be the same one. All right. That does make it a tad bit easier, but still difficult. There's the Chimney Canopy Arenas unlock, which I'll have to double check exactly where that is. But we also have to trade just one item between scavengers.
That's
so
pretty reasonable.
The arena unlock is down in the gutter.
Oh,
just
joy.
like the Safari unlock. It's actually right next to one of the stowaways that's down there.
And then in the final row, we have transport the same vulture grub through 3 gates, get the Farm Arrays Safari unlock, get a Garbage Waste Vista, store 2 colored pearls in Shaded Citadel, and then finally, I believe that is grabbing the exterior pearl. So yes. Right at the top of Pebble's roof.
Must touch the Pebble's pearl. All right.
So we're starting. Go. We didn't even talk about spawn points, but I'm hoping it's somewhere in the mid. Oh, no.
Oh, boy. That looks like subterranean.
Looks like filtration system to me.
Oh boy.
Let's see
filtration
which
system
shelter.
Is nasty for Spearmaster, though it is right next to the gate, so they could just leave immediately.
And it looks like both Skuichu and Hollow and Blue Jay have all immediately had that same idea. Oh, yeah. Let's just get out of here right away.
What's going on with Lucky?
I can't quite tell where they are on the screen without neuron glow. I know there's a spider out and about, might be harassing them, or maybe they fell down and they're trying to get back up.
I could see that.
There is the drainage system Safari unlock, so heading into drainage system right away, and then potentially into outskirts, and then into the center of the map, I think is a pretty good idea.
That would be a very, very good route. I mean, I suppose you could go directly to Waterfront Facility as an alternative if you wanted to split up, but that's still really awful, especially through Subterranean, since Subterraneans on the Spearmaster are incredibly nasty.
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything for either team in Subterranean, so leaving is a good idea, and I think not having to deal with it.
I would honestly rather just go up through a drainage system and go straight to garbage wastes if I had to go in that direction. Yeah, which honestly isn't a bad plan.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you need to go to Waterfront Facility, going through garbage waste is a great idea. I think for this bingo, just because of the goals that are in garbage waste, there's Vista points and then a couple of others.
We'll have to see if that's what either Blue Jay or Hollow do, since they're already up. It looks like Lucky is going through filtration system, and Skuachu is slowly getting up drainage.
It looks like maybe Lucky's headed trying to find a way to Pipe Yard. That would be interesting. Or maybe they're going to take that shortcut through the right side of filtration system to end up near that Waterfront Facility gate, because those spawns aren't too awful as Spearmaster.
No, the spawns aren't too awful. There can be scavengers there, and scavengers are always, they start pretty mean for Spearmaster. I think you start with what, -60 rep with them?
I was gonna say -60 as well, so that probably is the number.
They do not like you surviving.
I believe you can enter garbage. It's minimum karma to exit drainage systems. So on this very same cycle, either team, Skuachu, Hollow, or Blue Jay, all of them could just head straight into garbage waste. It looks like Skuachu isn't going to go down the drop, though.
Lucky is pure black. That does explain why we can't really see him all that well. Oh, goodness.
Where would you head, you think, if you were either of these teams right away?
I would definitely be heading... I would honestly head to garbage wastes, actually. Just because there are a lot of things up there. It would be either that or outskirts. I would probably split up with my teammate and pick one and the other. But not both going in the same direction.
Yeah, from outskirts you can get the Squidcada goals, or taming the Squidcada, transporting the black Squidcada out, as well as the Vista, and then maybe even Cyan Lizard befriending, if you're dealing with Squidcadas.
Oh, the industrial vista.
The Echo, sorry, is what I meant to say. The Farmer's Echo.
Oh, the Farmer's Echo. Yeah, that's a good idea too.
You can also
Um,
then potentially farm rep with the scavengers, and then maybe have enough to steal a pearl without getting becoming an outlaw.
It is a really good idea if you go to outskirts as Spearmaster just to farm that rep. You can
Yeah,
make infinite reputation. You can just trade it constantly and then abuse the reputation glitch to get a ridiculous amount of reputation very quickly.
yeah. It takes a couple of cycles, but it's well worth the effort, I think, especially as
Does it even take
Spearmaster.
several cycles as long as they don't
Yeah,
kill you?
there's a cap to how much chieftain progress you can get in a single cycle,
Mm. Oh,
but
I thought that
it's
was
still
actually
worthwhile.
uncapped for tolls, but it's still worth it, even if just to get them off, not pissed at you all the time.
Yeah, agreed. It does look like all three of the drainage system players are headed further through drainage than just swimming underneath and heading to garbage. So maybe they're all
Yeah.
going to head to outskirts straight away.
That's interesting. Especially given just entering garbage wastes is a goal, so that
Yeah,
is already helpful. That, and you have the Vista, and you have the Squid Catas there that you could befriend. There's bombing the toll. There are so many goals in garbage wastes that are useful.
I think it's still pretty reasonable though
Oh,
to be afraid of entering garbage wastes just with the Spearmaster world state there.
that's fair. Blue Jay almost drowned just there
That,
and getting out.
yeah,
They
the
they
changing
didn't,
water level
but
is a blessing and a curse.
it is. It can be really bad sometimes, but otherwise it can be really nice. At least
Oh,
Spearmaster is an artificer.
only Blue Jay had a jellyfish now, or there was a way to get a jellyfish in drainage, they could get this salamander
So
here.
many of them.
Yeah, I'm very surprised no one's
Uh-oh.
even just touching garbage waste
Ooh.
and then leaving.
You got deleted by an electric ramen noodle.
Oh, that is unfortunate. And I
That's brutal.
do not believe they have enough karma to make it back through this gate. It's very rough to farm karma in filtration systems. We'll have to see what their
It
reroute
is
is here.
very rough to do that, but the gate actually is minimum karma to leave into
Oh, is it? I
drainage.
thought it was 2. Okay, well
Yes,
that
it's
is great. That's good news. We
Thank
don't want people to get
goodness.
stuck anywhere. Yeah.
No, going to Pipe Yard is, I believe that's 3 karma to go to Pipe Yard.
Maybe I was just averaging the 2 out, you know?
Clearly,
Um,
simple math.
I think I'm interested. I'm surprised that red is not splitting up right now, but I'm curious once they both get into outskirts if they take different paths.
I'd imagine that's their plan if they're coordinating, because one person could go to Industrial Complex and the other one could go to Farmer A's, and that wouldn't be a bad idea. Going on the
Yeah.
way to Farmer A's and just being able to steal the pearl on the way is really solid.
Outskirts and outskirts and industrial are also great places to kind of pick up some points passively, just as
Oh,
Spearmaster. And
they are
176 is the total, and that's pretty high.
Actually, not a bad idea to, unironically, to hit red lizards with rocks while they're fighting, so that whichever one dies, you get credit. Oh,
Looks
there's
like red
the
team
safari.
got the drainage safari. I didn't even notice that had happened, but looks like Hollow has gotten it.
It makes perfect sense, frankly.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Walked right over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally didn't forget that was one of the goals after talking about it.
That's fine. It is a very forgettable room.
Yeah. It's also interesting that yellow lizard goal, killing 2 yellow lizards. I don't know what the best place would be for that, because going through farm rays is kind of a pain, and there's spiders at Spearmaster anyways, so
Yeah, there's nothing in Farmer A's. You have to go to Sky Islands, Moon, or
the exterior in the
or the
center.
exterior. If you're going to the
Yeah.
exterior, you might as well get the Pearl too, and those are on the same line. Plus, there's all the chimney canopy goals and the popcorn plants. If you can just pop them through industrial,
It
that's
is a
actually
difference.
a really
It is a difference between going to the wall and going to the underhang, though. I remember recently I had to pin those 2 yellow lizards to floors and walls, and it was a real pain
oh yeah.
to get through.
Oh no, Scuba Shoe's
the
drowning.
exterior.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's that water level again. It was peaking right as they entered there.
They didn't have enough oxygen. Yep.
Well, at least we know it's minimum
Very
karma, so they can get back in.
Hmm.
It looks like Hollow is kind of just doing points. They've been sitting in this room for the past 2 cycles a lot and just kind of farming creatures.
Honestly, not the worst idea right there. With all of the creatures there and all of the centipedes, especially the smaller centipedes that still give the same amount of points as the big ones, that's not a bad idea.
Oh,
Dropwigs
looks
also
like,
give a surprisingly large amount of points.
and it looks like speaking
So
of
they did die.
Dropwigs,
They did die
yeah,
to that one, but
they have the opportunity. They know now that there is a cyan lizard right
yes.
in that den that they're passing through. So perhaps it's their goal to get that Dropwig or
Or one of
a
the
centipede to
million
train.
centipedes. Yeah.
Yeah, it is the centipede lair
There's
as his
plenty of
character.
food. I
And
do.
cyan lizards are easy to tame, so hopefully they can get that. Oh my god, that's a lot of centipedes.
One of the most horrifying things I have seen there was oh gosh, in one actual match I ended up having to go up into drainage system from filtration system and didn't have enough food. I had to starve on the first cycle of drainage system right before going into outskirts.
Oh, that's
The
unfortunate.
that was a lot of very angry ramen noodles.
Looks like Lucky is being blocked in by some spiders, I believe.
Oh god,
Oh, they
there's
popped the mother spider.
they popped the evil pinata.
So they can get
I
away. It looks like they got away. That's good.
It did get away. It is nice as Spearmaster. You
Oh.
can actually kill. Oh, they did not get away.
They
You can
died of
actually
death.
kill the Coalescapede chain fairly easily just because you can create so many spears. And spiders do die to spears, especially if it's in a tunnel, so you can get them in a line.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, I don't know what they died to. Their character is pure black,
Black.
but it does look like they've sheltered close
This
by.
is
So
Not an
not too much
ideal
of a
place
set.
to have a pitch black character.
yeah,
Probably making
But-
it more difficult for them too. They are out, so that is nice.
that is an interesting point. Lucky could be going into farm arrays. You can make that Spearmaster spear ladder,
Can you?
and yeah, I believe there is a way
Oh,
all the way to the top.
That would take so long, though.
That would take ages. I hope they aren't doing that, but it is a possibility.
It is. There aren't really any goals on the west end of farm arrays either, though.
You could get popcorn while you're in farm arrays as well
You
as the echo,
could.
though. But yeah, it's still a traverse, and
It would
maybe
be rough.
maybe they did
Possible
some
though.
risk assessment, and it's more of a pain for in their eyes to go through outskirts trying to keep max karma and passing that scav toll.
They could always go to garbage waste.
Yeah, that's true.
Or, well, they could still go east to Waterfront Facility, too.
Yeah. Both of Red Team are still kind of in the same area of outskirts. They haven't really split up yet. I don't think Hollow has been in outskirts for too long, but they're being very combative, so I'm wondering if they're just trying to get a good lead on points as they move through these dense areas.
Definitely possible. It's definitely possible. I find it interesting that Skochu and Lucky are splitting up, which is a really good strategy to take in bingos. Just because being able to cover more ground means you can get more goals, generally speaking. But at the same time, Hollow and Blue Jay have managed to get out of filtration system and drainage system far faster. And that is looking really good for them.
Yeah, getting into like more goal-rich areas quickly is a real benefit later on in the bingos, but splitting up also has that kind of long-term benefit that as a bingo might be threatened by the other team, they have the opportunity to block because they're more mobile.
You can block it a lot faster if you're on different areas of the world.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so yeah, that is it's a good thought that maybe both players of Red Team will head into Industrial and then they'll split up. Maybe one goes to Chimney, one goes and then further up, and then one goes further out east.
Speaking of which, Blue Jay appears to have a black squid Kata that they're bringing to Industrial.
Yeah, maybe they're seeing the Noodlefly egg now and thinking about that. They might be telling Hollow to
True.
try and get that.
It would be a good time to do that too.
Yeah.
Frankly, there are a lot of goals in outskirts.
Yeah. I'm very surprised Blue Jay got through this room pretty unharmed.
There were no centipedes there.
Yeah, there were no centipedes. There was like one red lizard just leaving.
They just They just got out.
Maneuvering with a black Squidcada or any Squidcada Spearmaster is nightmarish just because of how low your weight is. You get bumped around
Oh,
quite
you get
easily. It's
pulled
really
around
hard to
so
enter
hard.
shortcuts.
It is nice that you can fly a bit, but that's not generally as helpful as just being able to go through a pipe.
I had a peek at Lucky's screen there, and it looks like they were in one of the rooms just after the long fall in Subterranean next to the
Are they
Echo. So
actually
they
going to
might,
climb up?
they may actually be trying to climb up. But yeah,
That
it
would
looks like
be.
it looks like they touched grass. Don't ever do
Oh,
that in Ring
getting
World.
up out of there is going to be really difficult with the worm grass right at the bottom.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's going to take a lot of time.
No, it is dangerous though. It is definitely more dangerous with that.
Blue
Squatchu is
Jay,
at the end of drainage as well.
Blue
For the
Jay has
top.
made it into Industrial as well. They found the Visto is right in the entrance room,
Oh, that's
and they've
big.
got their first popcorn. That's a
That's
really lucky
big.
pull for that Vista.
Well, so that does give them a distinct advantage as soon as they're able to shelter, because then they'll have 2 goals on the 4th column.
Yeah,
Considering then the only other places that they would really need to go are through Chimney, which is a very, very solid, and also to Shaded.
yeah, that's
That's
a good split up.
yeah, it's a big threat,
Yeah, that
especially
might
because
be. Oh,
well, no, I was just saying, especially because Squatchu and Lucky aren't really anywhere near Shaded or
yeah.
Chimney for that matter.
Oh, looks like Hollow has. Yep, Hollow's grab, or at least one of the Noodlefly eggs here. One of the biggest issues with Spearmaster and these Noodlefly eggs is that, again, your weight makes them so cumbersome to haul around. You can't, fast pole climb. You can see making this jump here is quite difficult.
Oh yeah,
And there's Blue Jay locking in those 2 goals.
there it is. It's a big, big threat. I do actually note that Squatchu is actually not that far from Chimney Canopy.
That's true. The gutter is real.
The
I
gutter
try
is
to
real.
forget that, but the gutter is real.
It's so easy to forget, but it is a valuable connection, especially in a situation like this, because the Chimney Canopy Arena is also in the gutter.
Yeah. It is 5 karma to enter though, which
It is 5
is
karma to enter, which is brutal.
brutal indeed. Yeah.
It's not the worst thing in the world, though. You can definitely get 5 karma in this situation.
All right, here's Lucky back in this room again, and it looks like they are heading up. This is gonna be interesting. We'll come back in a few minutes and see what progress they've made.
Right back after these short messages.
Hollow is opting to take a shelter further over in outskirts. Maybe they don't have enough karma to exit, or maybe they're not done with the Noodlefly egg goal. That would probably be the most
That's true.
likely option.
Are they going to
grab
passage to respawn the Noodlefly eggs?
They did grab the eggs though, so if they haven't put them in a shelter, then they're kind of
Ooh, that would be bad.
They're gonna be gone.
Yeah.
They did not have enough karma to go into industrial though, so maybe that was just their highest priority. They're looking at that Chimney Canopy Arena unlock right there. They might be communicating that it's a good idea to split up and head straight to Chimney, while Blue Jay maybe goes to Shaded.
That would be what I would go for in this situation too, I have to say.
You got to think if you didn't see the other team getting either of those industrial goals, they might be a little bit further behind, but you got to have the confidence that maybe they're not going the same way you are.
You can't always know that. Sometimes if you get into a region, like if you pop the entering garbage wastes goal, if they entered garbage wastes and sheltered just a millisecond behind you, they could still be there right on your tail and you wouldn't know. That's
maybe they're in their heads and they know.
Clearly. That is one of the interesting things about the entering or not entering a given region goals is you do get a lot of information about the other team when they get or lose those goals, and that can be really valuable.
I think Red is definitely looking at a bingo right now, though.
Definitely,
and that's probably. I think that's a wise idea, especially as Spearmaster. You wanna get it done as quickly as you can.
Oh, for sure.
I've seen so many cyan lizards, but nobody's really had an opportunity to tame one so far.
No, they haven't.
Blue Jay is also in proximity with some scavs here. They might be trying to farm some rep while they
Not a
can.
bad idea.
Never mind.
Oh, yeah, that would, well, there, there it
Violence.
goes.
The question is violence, and the answer is yes.
Yes.
They're kind of close to garbage, but they're not really. So maybe they're going to head into garbage instead of shaded,
Lucky is
which I think is
doing
definitely a
this.
valid move here, just because of the goal density and if they're playing for the long run. But I'm
Uh-oh.
surprised they wouldn't head straight for.
Scochu is in danger.
Yeah, I just noticed that centipede.
Big nasty red centipede. It always lives here. I believe it spawns here. Doesn't it spawn here instead of the monster kelp as well?
I do not know the Spearmaster trainer
It
spawns.
does. It does. In the room that Scochu is in, at the top, there's normally a monster kelp, and it is replaced with a red centipede, just to be nice.
That is some game knowledge there. Yeah, it looks like they made a cache of spears. Ah, jump scare. Oh my, sorry,
Dear
I
God.
got
Well,
secondhand fright from that.
that's...
I can't imagine they lose this if I'm being honest. They got like 8
If
or
you have
so
enough
spears.
you can do it.
Yeah, and it looks like they've
Yeah.
already exposed the head of it.
Well,
Derek,
yeah,
wow.
That was
That might be
fast.
one of the fastest spear kills I've ever seen on a red centipede.
I'm impressed. It does make sense though.
Yeah, that's
If you have
certainly a way to
spears,
deal with it.
their head, it does start as exposed actually. It's just their if you don't hit them directly in the head, then you have to deshell them.
Oh, interesting. I thought that there was always like
they
some
fell
thinly
down.
veiled armor. Now they might not be falling down. They might be headed to garbage.
That's true. It could have been deliberate. But if they were going to chimney, this is not the way.
This is not the way. Yeah, it
This
looks
is
like they are
not-
headed to. Maybe they're pipe juking the leeches.
Oh, that would make sense.
But yeah, that is a lot of points.
It's 25. All red creatures are 25 points. Red lizards and red centipedes. Oh, did they think that they couldn't go up to get the air at the top there?
Maybe the water wasn't high
doesn't go
when
that
they were
high.
there. Yeah, the water wasn't high when they first entered the room
Oh,
too.
okay.
They're already through all of the tunnels, though. I believe this is the last one. Oh, there's Blue Jay locking in enter garbage waste.
Blue Jay's going there. And Hollow isn't going for chimney, I think. They seem to be going more towards shaded.
Yeah, maybe they're just going for maximum goals.
That's not a bad idea, honestly. Though I still think going for Chimney Canopy would be a really, really good strat right now. Just because there are 3 goals there. If you bring a pearl or 2 pearls there, you can just lock in the Chimney Canopy goal right away.
Yeah, that's also a place to pick up a vulture grub if for some reason you want to do that. Looks like Lucky has made it. Oh, they made it onto the screen with the entrance into Subterranean.
Lucky is playing Getting Over It right now.
Yeah, I believe I've climbed up this once before, and all I remember is that the jumping around blocks is rough. Looks like Scoochu has made it into garbage as well.
Okay, well, I think... Oh no, how much karma is it to go back through? Is it not...
I think it's 2.
1? Yeah, it might be 2. It's, Oh no, it's 5.
Oh, that's unfortunate. And
that's very unfortunate. That's pretty brutal.
There's a popcorn here, so they can get 3 karma, but they're still gonna be missing 1 more. I guess the spear ladder does now exist. They can get up and down.
They can get up and down. Admittedly, there is a lot of food up at the top, I believe. Unless
there's one popcorn plant.
There's one popcorn. Okay, there's one popcorn plant,
yeah, and they're at full food.
They're noodle flies. Yeah,
oh,
they
true,
can.
And there's noodle flies.
If they kill the newt mom, then they'll have 6 food, and they could starve.
That's I was just gonna say that as well. Yeah, so they could open the popcorn plant right here, shelter again, and then they'll be at 3 karma, and then they'll have enough to shelter again, and then they hit the noodle fly mother once, and then they starve, and then they're at 5 karma, and then they can get into that farmer's room where there's a lot of food.
And then... Also, starving on the cycle that you go through the gate is generally a good idea, just because then if you die, you can starve again immediately.
Yeah.
Just have to have one more.
Another cyan lizard encounter that's not a friend.
That is definitely not a friend. That is a dead cyan.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that no one's really going out of their way to get a scion when they get a scion tamed when they see it.
Scion tames are surprisingly easy. With how aggressive they are, you'd think they wouldn't be easy to tame, but no, you just give them one food.
They're good
They're
like that.
they are good. They're very fun to tame and very dangerous when they're not.
Yeah, and they are great to have tamed just because they can follow you everywhere. And they're
They
also bad to have tamed because they can follow you everywhere. But
and also
it,
because they tend to follow you everywhere, including into death pits very
yeah.
frequently.
Oh, also, I completely forgot about this, but passaging. Looks like Lucky's just going to use their
Mm.
passage. Which I think
Honestly,
it's, I mean, at this
valid.
point, if you've put the time into getting up into farm race, it's definitely, I think, worth it.
Definitely worth it.
They're
Yes.
going to be uncontested for this farm race echo if that's what their goal is, and maybe even popcorn.
Oh
I'm
boy.
curious what else their plan is, though. Maybe they head into Sky Islands,
Pop,
finish popcorn there.
pop the corn a
Oh,
second.
if only they were not Spearmaster, they could steal a pearl from that toll there. Does count as a toll,
Ooh.
but there's no way to knock it unless you get a pup and you can throw the pup up there or something like that. There isn't really a way to get a pearl down.
Yeah, you can't exactly just hit it with rocks or anything. I've tried. It was not successful. If you
I
had
did look up a guide on Wiggle Flight.
a grenade could do it, I think. If
I
you
don't
managed to explode the
remember.
grenade in midair,
Yeah, I don't remember if
which you could do with a cheeky backflip.
or with the Noodlefly Mother.
Or the Newt Mom, true.
That would be quite a gamer setup, I have to say. If
That would
someone
be an
used baited a
incredible setup.
Newt Mother and then hit it with a bomb in order to get some pearls off. But I don't even know if the pearls get detached. I don't.
I
That's not something I recall.
If they didn't, that would be tragic.
Yeah, I still already wish that the pearls got attached with the spears or rocks, but
You'd
alas, it's
think.
not the case.
All right,
Lucky
well,
has gotten 3 popcorn plants though, 2
damn it.
here and 1 earlier.
I wonder what the spore puff is for. Oh,
Probably
for
evil
reindeer. Probably
spiders
reindeer.
or evil spiders if they're headed that way.
True. Or evil spider. Wait, they're
But they
going this
are.
way.
Yeah, I mean this is a quick shortcut. I mean, you could go from here to outskirts itemless this way,
True.
I believe. You'd have to do some fancy movement in one of the longer reindeer rooms, but it's possible.
Mm. That is very
Or they'll use
rough.
the spore puff there.
That is also
Blue
an
Jays,
option.
I think Blue Jays having a look for this vista, the way that they're routing. I can
Interesting.
never remember, but they've gone on a bit of a roundabout trip. And I can never remember where they are in past garbage waste. But I remember them being evil.
I am shocked that nobody has gone up chimney. There are so many goals up there. Like there are the yellow lizards in Sky Islands, and also on the exterior, though that's rough. But then you still have the chimney canopy echo and the arena unlock and the exterior pearl and putting pearls in a shelter. There are so many things you can do there.
Yeah, and not to mention that Pearl goal is the center square, and having the center square
Yes.
is 4 bingos that you block off and give yourself an option to complete.
Yes. It would be extremely valuable, especially with the garbage waste entrance and the industrial vista already being taken. That's
Yeah,
really valuable for both teams.
yeah,
Major
yeah.
threat for red.
Maybe that's Lucky's plan. They went up, and they're just trying to. They'll be behind at the start, but then it'll all pay off once they get into Sky Islands and then Chimney Canopy, and they get 19 goals,
Oh.
and the game's over instantly.
I mean, that actually for that almost sounds like a joke, but that isn't a terrible idea actually. You could grab 2 of the pearls and bring them through the gate from Sky Islands to Chimney, go up the exterior, get the other pearl after
Yeah,
having killed yellow lizards. That's solid.
yeah. There are plenty of pearls in Sky Islands. It's almost feasible to just bring 3 of them from Sky Islands and just store them in that close shelter there once you
Oh,
enter Chimney
oh,
Canopy.
Scooch, you're getting food from a vulture. I imagine they
They,
taste pretty good, honestly.
I don't know if Spearmaster has taste. They
Well,
were. It looked like they were trying to get a friend off with
he's stuck.
those white squidcatus there.
Oh, true. Well, they could kill the blue lizard and get the squid Kata. Save the
Like
squid.
they're lining up a shot. There we
Hey,
go.
there it
Wow.
is.
That has not worked for me before. I knew it was a. There were
Is
stories
maybe
told to me that you could tame a squidcata just by killing its threat to it, but
Seen it happen a couple times.
hadn't happened to me in a game. So I'm glad they got
Yeah.
that. Hopefully they can
That's
get back to
also-
a shelter and get blue his first goal on the board.
That is the challenge in past garbage waste, is just not dying in general.
Yeah.
All
It's
of the Mountain Dew water.
yeah. Oh my! I get sweaty palms watching the gameplay, and I'm not even playing the game.
They're just going straight back. Oh, okay. I thought they were actually another. Oh, there's a king vulture. That's also danger.
Playing itself is
Very.
a great idea here.
Oh yes, definitely. You want to lock in the goal.
Oh,
There's the Cyan.
Blue Jay tamed a Scion. I didn't notice, but I think I might have seen a Scion trailing them close behind.
Oh, I think Hollow's going to Chimney Canopy now.
Yeah.
There they go.
So-
Maybe they were grabbing another pearl?
Nah, I think they got ambushed as they were trying to head up. That room is awful as Spearmaster. There's a cyan lizard, a blue lizard, a white lizard, sometimes pink lizards at the bottom.
They can't lock in the pearl Chimney Canopy goal, though.
Right, there's Skuichu locking in blue's first goal.
And Lucky just died to the pole plant in Farmer A's.
Oh,
in the,
that's unfortunate.
room.
It's
They got
easy to forget
tricked.
those ones are there. Yeah.
That one's an interesting spot. They're all the vertical pole plants. They're very unusual, but
Yeah. Maybe
You'd
they're
think that they
headed to get this fire unlocked too.
oh, and they're back into subterranean.
Oh, they didn't
Oh,
shelter. That's
no.
unfortunate. They've still got plenty of food,
Very
but maybe they'll prioritize sheltering once they're through the gate this time, so they don't get punished.
I certainly hope so. That would be a very good idea. Now, where
I wish I could see
is-
right now is what is everyone's points? How is everyone doing on points?
I think Squatchu is heading to Industrial and probably going to be heading directly to Chimney Canopy because they do need to. And
no.
Hollow is tied to a King
Hollow
Vulture.
Immediately killed by a king vulture. Welcome to Chimney Canopy.
Welcome back to Chimney Canopy. I still have flashbacks to dying to that one King Vulture as Hunter that swooped out of the sky and immediately shot a microsecond later in the very last room. I was
It
trying
looks
to
like
go
Hollow
down.
is still ahead of Skuichu in terms of this potential race.
Lucky has had an unlucky incident with Rainworld. It would seem.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Yeah. Crashes do happen.
Oh, Blue Jay's into 3 digits for points. I suppose if you're in past garbage wastes, that's unsurprising.
And they went through industrial, so
They just go through
Yeah.
industrial. They went, and outskirts.
that is the score hunting region. I believe that Lucky did, or was on
Did
a
they
shelter that they.
Is Farmer A's?
No, they got. Looks like they got.
Nope.
Reset. This is interesting.
They're
They
back.
lost food, but they have 4 karma.
Well, that's good.
Popcorn has been popped, so it's like last cycle happened, and then they woke up and then crashed. Maybe I didn't see
I've
exactly when it happened.
Had weird situations like that where I've crashed while practicing and ended up having a goal with all of the qualifications met, but it didn't actually lock in,
Yeah,
and that has been rough.
it's an unfortunate time to crash. At least they can still get back up to 5
Yes.
karma though and get through this gate. And
Yeah.
there should be popcorn plants on the other side for them to get, so they can shelter again.
Yeah, it does look like they're resting and they're going to be getting through. No. Which is good.
I'd be surprised if Hollow didn't also have 3 points, just because every time I've looked at their screen, there's something dead.
Oh, for sure.
Especially that time they spent in drainage with those overgrown centipedes. I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
they've gotten some good progress there.
And also all the stabbings going on in outskirts. There have been some absolute massacres going on with Hollow and Blue Jay.
Yeah.
Been very brutal.
Curious what Blue is thinking here. If they want to try their hand at getting that vertical bingo there in that
Yeah.
middle column, or if they're just trying to get as many goals as they can. Because when you're down at this point, you start to think, how can we kind of not steal it away from them, but like sneak out from underneath the other team and get a bingo while they aren't looking.
They really do absolutely need to get that center square, though. That is pretty vital. They could block in the bottom left corner, and that's not the worst possibility. The corners are... anything on the diagonal lines is worth more than all the other squares, but that center square is that has so much influence on the board.
It'll be a race, I think, to Chimney Canopy between Hollow and Skuichu.
Absolutely.
But it's still like, I don't know if Hollow, I didn't see if they have a Pearl. I don't think so. In any case, even if they do bring the Industrial Pearl in, it's still being one short in Chimney Canopy. There's only one colored Pearl. So
yeah, there is only the one colored Pearl. It is close, but it is
see their play.
Not near.
Maybe they bring two of them up into in Chimney Canopy and then grab the exterior Pearl if they want to be a baller, and then come back down.
That would be pretty risky.
It would be risky for sure.
But it definitely would be possible.
Yeah. Looks like we're going to let Lucky get back to where they were before the other players unpause.
That's good. Honestly, they do deserve that.
Yeah, I hope they shelter this time. That way they don't have to get back to 5 karma. The devs really did not want people going back through here. No, this is 5 karma.
You'd think that given, like, what I believe that's vanilla too.
Yeah.
Which seems excessive, because how would you even get up as survivor or hunter to actually be dealing with the 5 karma gate in the first place? What on earth?
Looks like they are not opting to shelter. Wow. This is risky.
You would think that they should just be going back to shelter at the gate if this is letting them come back.
Looks like they changed their mind.
Yeah.
Especially if you've gotten completely to max food. As Spearmaster, it's okay to take a shelter just because you don't need to worry about food the next cycle.
That would make sense.
Wonder what Blue Jay is going to head for once they're done with these garbage waste goals. If they're going to head into Shaded or head into Waterfront.
Clearly, they're going to bring they're going to get an item from the merchant and bring it to Shaded.
Maybe. Going that way is the rougher way. Just in general, going from... just because the Shaded Merchant tends to give you better items that you can carry that are not spears. And also, you're headed generally down. Looks like we've unpaused.
We're unpausing. Okay. So now that they've had a bit of time to plan, too... Let's see. So
Skuichu got grabbed by a charging green. That was unfortunate.
No, those greens
they got stuck in the shortcut backwards.
The greens there are really surprisingly dangerous. A lot more than you would think.
That whole room in general is evil.
Hollow is not into Chimney Canopy yet, since they died.
I think they paused for quite a bit in the
shelter. Too, so,
Oh, this is why this room is so awful.
Yep.
Wow, they got some good tongue dodging though. They need to just not miss a single wall jump. Oh, that's unfortunate.
You can often get out of those holds if you do have a spear.
Yeah, I don't think they took the time to generate one before they entered that situation.
Blues are really not reliable for fighting for food, especially with Scions, seeing as the Scion could just decide to eat them.
Yeah, the Scion's like, oh, you're volunteering? Okay. But you know, you're the player character. That's not going to happen.
Here goes Blue Jay.
I thought it was Blue Jay's friend for a second there before I checked the threat indicator.
They just throw the bomb at the... I think they lost their bomb to the Scion by throwing it at the Scion. Oh, here comes the Red Lizard, too. No,
sure.
They should still bomb.
Yeah, it looks like they only generated one spear, so I'd assume that they still have something in their hand. A little bit hard to see.
There's the bomb.
So there's the bomb. They still have to cross it, though.
They do still have to cross it.
It would be, if you could get the Red Lizard into this room. Oh.
The
That
red
is
lizard grab
unfortunate.
him.
If you could get the red lizard into that room, that would wreak some havoc that you could take advantage of.
Oh, Hollow's having a desperate fight with the king vulture.
They are not having a great
Nacu is
time with these
also
guys.
having a dangerous time with another king vulture. There's so many king vultures.
All right, cue the one for Lucky in this room, and then the one for Blue
In
Jay.
this room of all places. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Lots
Awful.
of cover in this room.
Making their way through.
The
goodness.
room that Scoichu is in is just the
It's a
rain
pretty-
worldest of rooms.
It's a pretty brutal spot.
Even as like Survivor, you got like 2 or 3 pings, 2 green lizards, if I recall correctly.
Vulture comes
All
down
of the
on
vultures in the world. Yeah, it's not a great
It's
place to be.
so common.
I think Hollow did shelter though, so they should have enough karma to head back.
And they can take another crack at it. Here's hoping that another king vulture doesn't immediately drop down out of the sky and stab them instantaneously. What
Yeah,
is going
I
on?
didn't see how much food they have. Hopefully, oh, they don't quite have enough to fully
What
shelter.
is
But
going on in Scotchy's screen? Just the spears are
there's an off-screen
Interesting.
vulture.
Huh. Strange.
They are. Oh,
Follow
every room is chaos as Spearmaster. Every time I look at the
Welcome
screen.
to Industrial Complex. This is where
Yeah.
Industrial is no longer is most definitely complex. No longer Industrial simple.
This is why this is the point farming area. There's just so many creatures.
There's so many lizards.
Yeah, Hollow has met their fate again at a blue lizard, and so I think they'll be back to 2 karma.
Interesting.
I'm really interested in maybe they'll passage at some point. Because getting into Chimney here is you'd think it's like the highest priority for Red Team.
I would think so. Yes, it's really important. And Scotchu is coming up on the Industrial Pearl soon as well. So if they can get it and get to Chimney Canopy, or even just get closer, or they could just get bit by a pink lizard, that's also an option.
Yeah, those are the evilest lizards in the entire game. They're worse than red lizards.
You can't stab them in the face either. And in general, it might have been very effective for them to have just jumped up to the left.
Yeah, they might have gotten confused.
Yeah.
The pink lizards are like, every time I fight a pink lizard, they always act how I do not expect them to act. They might get freed. We'll have to see. Blue lizards, again, though, are not the most reliable.
Pinks are always more dangerous than you think. Just in general, it's a good assumption.
Oh dear. Lucky immediately getting harassed by a king vulture upon entering this room and trying to get a deer.
Well, I hope they've sheltered. If they haven't, they probably should be sheltering here, because this is... you do not want to have to go all the way through the area again.
I've always hated traversing across farm arrays as a hard mode character if you have to use deer.
You do not want to get a king vulture sitting around while you're trying to pass on a deer.
Yeah, there's not really anything you can do about it. I think they just demasked the vulture.
Oh, well, that would keep the vulture there for a while. I guess if they kill the vulture, that is another option.
That is definitely another option. I'm gonna check how many vultures spawn in farm arrays for Spearmaster, but I'm sure another one will just show up. Yeah, it's 1 regular, 2 king vultures, so I'm sure another cut off 1 head, 2 will pop back up.
Oh yeah.
Vulture comes careening in from across screen.
Oh my gosh, and Blue Jay is also dealing with another king vulture as well. Everyone
looks like that one's got a scavenger though, so Blue Jay shouldn't be in too much danger.
It's a lot safer.
Lucky has killed that king vulture. Saw the points pop up. They just gotta, get onto this deer. Looks like they have tweaked deer AI on too, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem to get this deer moving.
I mean, frankly, you should definitely pretty much always have tweaked deer AI on.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the flashbang unlock deep into memory crypts.
It's right next to the leg. Literally right next to it. Very
pretty out of the way.
Yeah. It could be a thing they could go for though.
I think Lucky's probably gonna head for this Farmer A's Safari unlock, and then
Makes sense.
I'm hoping maybe they go for the Echo. It is the normal Echo rules though, so they're gonna have to trigger it and then sleep and then trigger it and then go and visit it. So it's a time sink for sure.
I don't think it's a bad idea though. Even so, because it is on the way to outskirts, which
Yeah.
isn't the worst of ideas. Though if they shelter at the top, they could. Hmm. They
They
could
don't really have
shelter.
another option
Yeah.
here except to kind of pass by that area and shelter near outskirts.
Yeah. Okay, they've passed.
Only a couple rooms away. Hopefully
Hopefully they know the route.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
they
they're
have passed
not
it.
going-
Oh no. They
Oh,
might
no.
not be thinking about it. That is
I-
unfortunate.
I hope they're not thinking about trying to pass, but oh
Oh
dear. And
yeah, Spearmaster weight and the grass. I
Yep.
don't recall if it affects the grass interaction.
interestingly,
yeah.
interestingly, the room next to the unlock, that really tall room.
Looks like Blue Jay got points.
Blue Jay did get points. That's good. Lucky's all the way back next to Subterranean again. They did
Yeah.
not shelter. The shelter right below, or the shelter in the same room right next to the unlock, the Farmer A's Safari unlock. It's the same room with the pearl in it, the very funny pearl about the ancients being very silly. It is actually not a bad idea even just to wait there, because if you wait in that room, then the rain actually brings you all the way up to the shelter.
Yeah, the God Swim, my teammate Pixel called it. That it's really hard to execute, but if you're not going for the pearl, it's not the worst thing in the world.
It's not a bad idea. I don't even think that it's all that hard to execute. You essentially just need to wait in the room, get up through the middle, the center, and take a left. Really, then you'll get there.
It's kind of annoying to wait till the end of the cycle though, unless you're there at the end of the cycle already.
That's definitely the worst aspect of it, especially for something like bingo, is it takes time, which in a race,
yeah,
bit of short supply.
Looks like Hollow has made it into Chimney Canopy though. I believe they did shelter, so they're locked in for this region, and they've kind of got free reign. Blue Jay is also taking a second shot at bombing this toll.
Yep.
And has not killed too many scavengers, so they're gonna have their work cut out for them here.
We'll see how it goes. Here's hoping for them, for their sake.
Yeah, this is the harder of the two tolls to cross, I think. Just because bombing the underground one tends to kill most of the scavengers, and then you can take some pot shots from a distance.
That's true.
From this shortcut, though, you don't tend to hit scavengers just from throwing spears. You have to get a little bit lower, at which point you're quite vulnerable.
Got you, being a bit more cautious of the pink lizard now.
Yeah.
I do find that there's an elite there as well for Blue Jay. That doesn't bode well if they're trying to bomb the toll.
Yeah.
Those elites are very nasty.
Looks like they're going to go back and get some more high explosives for this.
Guachu going and considering grabbing the pearl, and they do grab the colored pearl from Industrial.
It's definitely still an option to go to Shaded. I mean, and store the two pearls there instead of doing 3 in Chimney.
That's true. Though at this point, again, the center chimney goal, you have to consider that.
Yeah, you would think you'd be thinking about that, but it's a time commitment.
It is a time commitment.
And they might just want goals quickly right now.
That's true. We'll have to see if it pays off for them. I don't think Hollow has another pearl though, so this is definitely an opportunity for Skochu to get that middle goal. Though who knows if they'd be able to get the other two, which could also be an issue. The fact that they have to store pearls in 2 different regions, very, very rough.
It may be the case that Hollow isn't going for the Chimney Canopy pearls goal at all. They're just going to do the arenas and the echo, while Blue Jay passes this toll, heads into Shaded Citadel and stores the 2 pearls there. I don't know if there's a colored pearl opportunity in Garbage on the way to Shaded, though, to have in addition to that spider pearl.
There is one very nearby, but it's not easy to get.
Yeah.
Shall we say? You generally don't want to be in close proximity with a purple rot cyst. They're not very fun.
I'm interested what they're going to try. Maybe they'll take the pearl all the way close to Industrial and then go into Industrial and come back and grab it. We'll have to see what their routing is. But at that point, Skuichu would definitely have the lead. Although Skuichu has been grabbed by a Cyan Lizard.
That would definitely be a bit of a damper to their lead. I don't think they got to shelter either, which is very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. And
forgotten about the Garbage Waste Vista as well. I don't think Blue Jay hasn't gotten it, and I don't think they've searched all the rooms. I know one of the rooms that has it.
They seem to have exploded a bomb into themselves.
The west. This toll is, this is murderous to cross. Literally,
it's very difficult.
We're curious to see how many attempts it will take them. Because in my time trying this goal, it usually took at least 4 or 5 attempts to get through here if you had to cross. Wow, Hollow has gotten 3 pearls stored in Chimney Canopy. I did not see that.
Where did the other 2 pearls come from?
They had the outskirts and industrial pearl. Okay, that's I didn't notice that. Maybe couldn't see that in my hands. That's a really important goal to get. They could grab the grub here and just go through gates right now. Get a bingo right away.
They basically just need to bring the grub through gates. So at the same time, I don't know. I would honestly still probably go for the other Chimney Canopy goals if it were me playing, just to make sure that I locked in the win. Especially the Chimney Canopy Arena goal is so big.
Oh my god.
That threatens.
Skuichu just had a King Vulture shoot a tusk at them as they ducked down to enter one of the tunnels, and as they moved their head down, the tusk went straight over their head. That was an incredible dodge. Yeah.
Oh, very terrifying.
But yeah, Hollow going for this grub is quite a time sink, because if the other team has gotten a grub and they're at 2 and they get a third gate right as you're getting like your second, you've lost several minutes of time. But especially from Industrial, it's pretty easy to get through 3 gates.
It's not a bad play. It's not a bad play. It is a risky one, is the big thing. Ooh, that's the death tunnel. That's the exact kind of risk there is.
Yeah. You now, as Spearmaster, you've only got 1 item slot, essentially, and you've only got 1 way to defend yourself.
Very
play
brutal.
Really carefully. I think my route here would be outskirts and then drainage system to get the last 2
could see that.
Gates.
I would be tempted to run to Shaded Citadel and then back, but I think going through outskirts and drainage system. Well, no, going through outskirts, going to Shaded Citadel and back, and then to a different place would be good.
Yeah,
or you could
I picked up what you meant.
You could go to Pipe Yard as well, and then back and into outskirts.
Yeah, no, I don't. That reason is not real, so I don't think they'll do that.
But going to Shrub Yard.
In honesty, it's a bit of a trek to get through there, but it's usually pretty threat free. The scavengers are usually the worst of it. Maybe a wandering cyan.
Maybe a wandering cyan, maybe a wandering blue, but there's generally not much on the way to Pipe Yard. It's surprisingly safe.
I think Blue Jay did.
Oh no!
Oh no!
That's a fall. Not the worst.
I saw something pop up. I saw something pop up for Blue Jay, but I don't know what it was. I can only imagine it was the crossing the toll goal, but I didn't see them cross it, so that's interesting.
No, that they seem to have died. So perhaps that was it.
They Hollow looks like they're playing pretty carefully. They're not taking fights that they don't really need to in a bad spot. This is pretty easy to get around this green here. Just don't throw an item in here and explode
Especially
a
not
bomb
an
right next to you.
explosive item.
Yeah, if you accidentally hit a bomb in there, it's usually a death sentence.
Yep, that is a very, very explosive shelter. So the question is, are they going to go to outskirts or are they going to go to garbage waste?
Please tell me they're not going to garbage waste. The closest gate would be drainage from there, and at that point, like, why not go through outskirts?
That's
It looks
not
like they are trying to head to outskirts.
terrible idea, though. It's not that far. Oh my gosh.
Wow. They nearly got RKO'd by that drop wig.
That drop wig was wildin'.
Lucky has made it to the Farm Raise Echo. They've triggered it.
Okay.
They just need to get enough karma
It's good.
to actually see it now.
Ooh, Squatchy just juked that Cyan. Going fully stealthy this time.
Still trying to make their way into Chimney, which I think is definitely now that Hollow has kind of backed out of Chimney and is headed for this Vulture Grub goal. It's definitely a reasonable play.
Holding?
But maybe they've got a pearl.
No, I don't think they're. I was wondering if they were holding a Vulture Grub, if they've gotten one that I didn't see.
Like Hollow is home free to enter outskirts.
Actually could probably grab a Vulture Grub from Farmer Rays and zoom through outskirts.
That's true.
As well.
Yeah, there is that Vulture Grub. Or
not a bad idea. You need to block goals. You have to block goals if they're, especially at this point, you have to.
Yeah. I hope Hollow takes a shelter here in outskirts, just because once you got two of these locked, it's quite a trek to go from Chimney back here.
It is. It is a big trek. Honestly, if I were Hollow, if I'm thinking that they're not going for this goal already, I would even shelter in the shelter right before the outskirts gate in Industrial.
Yeah, yeah,
that's play it very safe. Playing it safe is good.
And they're not going to the shelter. Well, this will be really interesting.
It'll be brutal if they die here, which is not hard to do.
Yeah, they are braver than I am. I wonder if they're gonna try to head to drainage or farm raise. Looks like they were headed towards farm raise and figured out that probably isn't the best way to go. Okay. Here's another thought. It would be really interesting to see someone go through the intake system gate in the outskirts spawn. Is that even a thing you can do just for another goal?
I think so. I don't think you can get there. Because there's that one scripted. There's the one scripted water passage in outskirts that you have to go back down.
That's true. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'd have to do some research on that because I think that would be really cool to see in a match if someone would take a pearl or something and count that, or take an item through a gate, have that count as a gate.
Was Lucky going to the Echo, or are they going to get? Is he going to get a Vulture Grub?
It might be just taking a slightly more roundabout way to get the Echo. It avoids the wind grass. To see if they have. Yeah, they do have the Echo effect, so they have it triggered.
Yes, he does. He does have the Echo effect, which he did visit it. It makes sense.
Yeah. Well, maybe they didn't have enough karma.
True. Hollow is. I mean, honestly, I am impressed by their gumption of going all the way down. Oh, now.
Yeah, there was a drop. There was one of those evil dropouts. Blue Jay got the bomb, the toll, and passed it. And Lucky also getting the Echo.
The Farm Raise Echo. Okay.
Yeah, it's Hollow here. You got to be getting a little bit nervous just because you've got one gate to go.
You have to get the goal.
Drainage is not a great place to only have one spear. Oh, no, actually, no. Once they pass through the gate, they can drop the grub and they'll have two spears to defend themselves against all of the evilness that Drainage has to offer.
Oh, yeah, okay. It does look like the outskirts gate force area, so you need a bat-speared lizard or a jungle leech.
Oh, yeah. I remember people talking about this.
How does a jungle leech help you get there?
And out of bounds thing.
There's a jungle leech related out of bounds.
Yeah, I think it's got something to do with the weight that it adds to you. This game is so silly. Oh, there's
popcorn
Blue team
plants.
locking in the popcorn plants. Yeah, I thought Lucky might get that through farm raise.
Let's go to his consuming consuming a king vulture, as one does, or trying to. Appear to have only gotten one food. They could stab the two vulture grubs in the next room. They do count for half a pip each.
It looks like Blue Jay has bombed the toll again. Maybe they're just doing it for sport now.
You're just having fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it does look like he went past it and then came
albino
back.
vulture. Scrooge had albino vulture. King
Ooh.
vulture. That's pretty rare to see. Sorry, interruption, but that's always a sight.
Albino vultures are always interesting. Always interesting to see.
Hollow has made it through the last gate he needs to pass through. It is using the grub as half a pip of food or a quarter pip, I can't remember. But that's definitely would be my reaction if I had to carry that thing through 3 different gates as this character.
Just stab them immediately. Yeah, fair enough.
Food is already presenting itself though, so they shouldn't have too much of a hard time getting through here.
Not going for vulture grub. I suppose they're just going to aim to get as many goals as they can.
Oh, that's what Blue Jay's doing. Blue Jay's trying to steal the pearl, which Lucky just got. So Lucky just needs to get back to his shelter, and they'll have that locked in.
Yep, actually lock it in. Blue Jay is just hanging out for a minute, realizing they need food, and I suppose they could. They seem to be going down to.
Oh dear.
Oh my God! What is going on for Hollow's screen?
Oh, Hollow got killed. No, that's such an awful area.
Right above them.
Yeah, that's right above them. And their karma is too low now.
Oh, that's not good.
There's a kelp right outside though, so they can quite quickly get back. There is a chance. There's always a chance. They did get their 2 food that they need though. If worse comes to worse, they can passage. And the vulture grub will be right there again because it's not in your stomach. It won't potentially bug out and disappear. Yeah. Blue Jay. Looks like Blue Jay's pinned a snail. I'm pretty happy with that. It's not a goal, but it's a it's a goal in my eyes. It is an achievement, yes. Not a goal, but it is an achievement.
Wonderful.
Hope that Hollow can make it through this time. Those rooms in drainage are really rough.
I am surprised that Skochu, and it's a moral victory. True. Stabbing snails is a moral victory. I am surprised that Skochu and Lucky haven't even seemingly grabbed a vulture grub.
Yeah. They might just be at this point like, I'm not going to be able to get progress ahead of them. I got to get other goals in order to lock them out. It's just a rough situation to be in for Blue. It is. Lucky made it into farm arrays or out of farm arrays and got a couple of goals, kind of like we were thinking they might, but it was a little bit too little, too late. Who knows though? Hollow might get soft locked.
That's true. Hollow might get just stuck. It isn't that safe getting to the goals. Ooh.
Blue Jay beat Lucky.
Lucky didn't quite make it.
Stealing Pearl's goal.
Lucky could have gone, just as an alternative, Lucky could, in theory, have gone down towards a drainage system and sheltered there.
Blue Jay is also passaging back to outskirts. They're probably going to head for this Noodlefly egg goal, just as a redundancy in case that Hollow gets
makes sense. Might as well.
Killed again in drainage system. But yeah, at this point, you just kind of heading for these final squares to get a bingo.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised that, as well, that Lucky hasn't gone for the Noodlefly eggs. There were the 3 in outskirts.
Yeah.
Might as well.
I'm surprised how little chimney canopy we saw in Shaded Citadel. Looks like, unless this somehow gets taken, it's surprising that we didn't see that.
It is. Garbage waste does play a big role, and there were a lot of goals just in garbage waste and industrial, frankly.
Yeah, and so that's why I was so surprised that we didn't see anyone enter there or use that connection. Oh, we didn't even see any waterfront either. I was so happy to see some waterfront.
Next time Sphere Master Artificer comes up, all waterfront and garbage waste goals. 100%.
if you're hollow here, you got to think about. You might even go up here and shelter further up, but
and there he
yeah,
goes. Maybe.
this is such a miserable
It's a
place
lot
to go
safer
through.
going up, I think. There's not even a red centipede up there. Strangely, there seems to be a lot of the time, but there isn't right now. In fact, there's actually basically nothing on the way there. There aren't even any centipedes. They all apparently moved up after Spearmaster to A19.
I think there's like one pole plant, or I don't know if it gets replaced with a kelp.
There are 2 drop wigs and maybe a salamander and a monster kelp on the way, and that's it. It's not much.
Hollow's in a rock, between a rock and a hard place here. Oh, they got a lucky spear still on the ground there. Yeah, it's so stressful going through these rooms.
These rooms are very brutal.
Yeah, Spearmaster ban. We're implementing a new pick ban system, and everyone's going to ban Spearmaster.
Oh,
Character is too stressful for me to commentate.
Poor Grace.
Oh, they got grabbed by the drop
he
wig.
died again. Pain. Oh, painful. Oh no!
Oh, and
Scoochu died at the top of the chimney.
Right next to the gate shelter. Yeah, Hollow's going to use their passage. Get back here.
Brutal.
Oh, that's so rough.
Honestly, yeah, hollow passaging makes perfect sense there. That is surprisingly dangerous just going into drainage system, which is normally not that bad to get to the gate, to get to the shelter.
Yeah, drainage with hard spawns. I remember when I was running Perseverance, which is Hunter, but you start on cycle 0 essentially, so you're always sick. And I was so stressed the whole time because like 3 of my runs, I would get to drainage system and I would die to the most absurd things.
Oh, yeah,
it's tough.
Brutal. That's absolutely
Blue Jay may end up beating Hollow to this. Oh, okay, never mind. They get instantly aimbotted by a red lizard.
Oh, Scoochu dying again.
I think that was a scavenger, perhaps.
Oh, that would do it.
It's unfortunate. We're getting all of the deaths concentrated in this piece of time.
The last few minutes.
Yeah.
Potentially. We'll see.
Oh, rainbow sighting on Blue Jay screen. Ooh. I'm surprised. I'm curious what Hollow's thinking about. They're really debating this passage right now.
Wait, where is Blue Jay going?
Back to get the eggs.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, fair enough. That is the closest egg. Where's the 3rd egg in Outskirts?
There's the 2 here, and then it's just in like left and then up 1 room.
Oh, right. In the Squidcada room, yes. Okay, that's right.
Before Bingo, I would always forget that these ones exist, or that any of these existed until I saw the one. Oh, Albino Vulture's back for Scoochu.
Albino Vulture's back.
I would always forget that it existed. And then
wait, that's an albino vulture too.
Yeah. I can't remember what the spawn chance is for those. I had 1 in 1 bingo match, and I promptly left the room. But
1%, I believe.
Wow, yeah, rare.
It's very, very rare. 1 in 1,000 of spawns, and that's not even a guarantee you'll see it. Yeah, 1 in 1,000.
Well, this bingo is very lucky. We've seen so far at least 2,000 king vultures. Then
yeah, we've seen so many king vultures. It's not. Oh my God, Scoochu is.
Yeah, Scoochu is making a daring escape. Oh no.
They've been soft locked. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. No, yes!
I got the spear parry off. Yeah, this is... I'm so stressed out. I'm not even playing the game. Is Lucky on a pre-cycle? Look at that palette. I didn't notice, but... Or is it the rain coming soon?
Oh, that's the rain coming.
It's getting darker, yeah.
That's the rain coming. Oh, that's the... No, they need to go back.
Time pauses in gates, though, but yeah, this is a little late. Yeah.
I don't know that
it can still flood, but yeah, it's an outside room that they have to go through.
They have to go through an outside room while the rumbling's already happening. So if time pauses in the gate, then I don't know that that'll last long enough.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
Lions. Oh, hide and stab. Okay, Lucky.
Although it's getting
Will
Plenty of
Lucky get
food.
lucky? We'll see.
Oh yeah. they made
Oh
it.
my gosh. Actually
I
making
hope they have
it.
enough food.
Hope they have enough food too.
If they're at the end of
They're
the
grabbing
cycle, you would hope so.
Oh my gosh, they're grabbing the vulture grub.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh
Well,
my god. If Lucky
perhaps.
somehow manages to go all the way to get the vulture grub.
I mean, if you really go fast, you can probably make it from this shelter to the drainage shelter in 5 minutes.
If you
So
go
there's a
really
possibility
fast
there.
and get very lucky.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
Very. I
possible.
cannot rule out the element of luck.
It's not likely, but it is possible. That would you'd have to get the eggs too though to block the other bingo. That center square just
Yeah.
showing its power again.
Yeah. Locks off a lot of the board for blue.
It does.
They.
It really
I
does.
mean, it's lucky wouldn't be too far if they head through the same drainage route. They wouldn't be too far from outskirts though.
It wouldn't be far.
It would be crazy to see if they beat both Blue Jay and Hollow to their
Doing
respective
the
bingo
goals. That would be incredible. Well, clearly, what they do is they bring the eggs with them on the way.
Yeah. my favorite character with 3 arms. It looks like Blue Jay's got locking in 2 of the noodlefly eggs, so they just need to get the 3rd one. This is not all in the same cycle, so they can space this out.
Not
and
all
be
in
okay.
All in the same cycle. 3 as Spearmaster, brutal. 2 is in the same cycle. It's already pretty rough.
Yep. Oh, spear centipede jump scare for Hollow.
Again.
Again, true.
Here's more.
There's just so many.
The angry
The good
spaghetti.
thing with the
going to go? They're not. I think they forgot about the other shelter that's up there.
I mean, it's still
It's easy.
proximity-wise, it's quite close, and they know the route probably to this closest shelter. So that might just be what they're thinking about. I'm surprised they aren't tossing this grub though. Maybe they're using it as bait for the grub vulture or the drop wigs that may show up.
They want to feed a lizard with it.
Feed a centipede.
Feed the centipede. Yes, you need to tame a centipede with a vulture grub. Oh,
The good thing with the centipedes though is if you can hit them with 2 spears, they tend to be cowards and they just back off.
They're not especially brave, and they're pretty much home free as long as there isn't a centipede down here, which there isn't. All right.
And one more room. Yeah, okay. This looks like it may be it for red team, assuming a centipede doesn't travel through all of the water and then teleport to Hollow.
There were a lot of wild things in this bingo,
Yeah.
I have to say. My gosh.
This is standard Spearmaster activities.
Shenanigan Master. Imagine if
Alright.
Hollow got stuck at the gate and drowned. That would be brutal. GG,
Well,
though.
GG to the Gaslighters. That was a good match and a great bingo to get.
Good match.
That's not where
Very
I thought this game was going at all.
No. I definitely was expecting more Chimney Canopy and Waterfront.
And it looks like that heading the same way at the start really actually did work out for red team in the end, just splitting up once they were in industrial. It was faster than I expected though, to be honest.
It was faster than I expected too. I do think it would have been very interesting if Lucky had actually gone to garbage waste through drainage. That could have really changed the course of the entire bingo match.
Yeah. Well, it's double elimination, so you guys will get to see both of these teams again, and Scoochu and Lucky will get to fight to stay in the tournament. Hollow and Blue Jay will move on in the winners bracket.
I got to parry this one, but
yeah,
another one may be lethal.
Hopefully, not Spearmaster again. This is a rough character to play.
It's difficult if you're not used to the world and the spawns, and if you're not being really careful, it can get you very much.
Yeah, that's the highest priority of Spearmaster or any in this bingo in general is staying alive.
Yep, don't die. Don't die and then get goals in that order in general.
Looks like our next match for the Creator Bingo will be on the 15th of February at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you guys want to see more Creator Bingo, come back then. But otherwise, I think we're going to say goodbye now. Thank you all for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.
And an honor to speak with you, Shrub.
And you, Sky.
Take care, everyone.